Hello, welcome to our channel, or welcome back. My name is Hannah. Today I have a video for you on 5 ways to help your masculine, your man, feel safe to love you. And so I want to start off this video before I get into the 5 ways you can do this by sharing with you a little bit of detail about the masculine and how the masculine energy needs to feel very, very safe to open and to give. If you don't know, the masculine energy, it is a giving energy. So the masculine gives, the feminine receives. All right. And oftentimes women, feminines, get very frustrated when their man isn't giving to them. And so this can look like, right, your man your twin flame not talking to you, not giving you what you want, not showing up the way you desire them to, ghosting you, blocking you, right, not respecting you, all of these different things. And so I really want to get into this topic, and actually Dylan suggested that I film this video for you guys, which is my twin flame, the masculine. And so, yeah, I heard through him the call to make this, and I hope that you guys really receive a lot from it. Make sure that you stick around to the end to get all 5 signs, all 5 ways you can help your masculine to feel safe in loving you. We can look at the masculine energy, and just by kind of, if we look about over history for a second, let's just take a step back in time. Men have been pushed to stay strong, right? They've been pushed to not feel their feelings. They've been pushed to work really hard, to provide. There's been a lot of pressure put on men. I don't really agree with or really like what's going on in the world right now with like men getting pushed down. I find that really inappropriate and imbalanced to kind of counteract for the feminist movement, but we don't need to get into that in this video. But men really have done a lot, to provide for women, to, we can talk about the army, to serve, right, to be strong. And so if you desire your man to really open up and be intimate with you and to really give to you in the way that, the feminine is designed to receive from her man, you can help by supporting him and kind of rewiring those old patterns. You can think of like a grandpa or like an older man who maybe hasn't been able to feel his feelings throughout his life, right? He may be pent up, he may not be able to express himself. That's okay. But if you want your man to express himself to you, right, like things need to be different than what, maybe a grandpa or an older man grew up with. And so this means, as your man's woman, you can really support him in feeling safe to feel his feelings, give to you, and love you the way that you desire. And so the first one that I want to talk about today, the first way that you can really help your masculine feel safe in loving you, is through feeling your own feelings, okay? This is so important, right? You really want to have boundaries around your feelings versus your man's feelings, right? You are not, you don't want to be codependent here. That is not fun. That is icky. That is cringe, okay? By feeling your own feelings, taking care of yourself, filling your inner well, you invite your man to join you in that space. If you are waiting for your man to love you, for you to feel a certain way, or to give to you the feelings that you desire to feel, that's not going to happen. You must give yourself those feelings first within yourself. The best way to do this, as you know, if you've been following us, is with the mirror exercise. It's loving these parts of yourself that are calling for love. Because your twin flame can only love you in the ways that you've loved yourself. They are a mirror of you, okay? They are a reflection of you. So if you're waiting for your twin flame, for your man to show up and love you in all these ways that you desire, that cannot physically, spiritually, emotionally, materially happen until you love yourself in those places, okay? And so by feeling your own feelings and loving yourself, that is going to help you cultivate the energy to attract that love from your man. This is a good example, like pretend like for a second, let's just look at a little kid, okay? So if there's a little kid and they really want, a gift from their parents for, Christmas or their birthday or something, if they're constantly begging for that gift all the time, like the parent's not going to feel like super good about giving them that gift. And even if they do give them that gift, it's kind of going to be just like this, okay, you really wanted this, like we want to make you happy, here it is, right? And so on the other side of things, like let's say a kid creates a Christmas list and they put number 1, like I want, these toy box cars or whatever those little mini cars are, Matchbox cars. I want Matchbox cars. I want the Matchbox car rack. I really want this. And they give the list to their parents and they say, Mom and Dad, this is the number 1 thing that I want for Christmas, right? And they let it go. The parents, they're going to be like, of course we want to give you this. Like, of course we want to fulfill your wish of your number 1 gift. Because that kid isn't being so needy and aggressive and like begging for this gift as if it's going to be the thing that like saves their life, right? Okay, kind of not the best example, but I hope you're getting me, right? If that kid says his desire, gives it to his parents, gives it to the universe, right? Sits back and enjoys their life on the way to Christmas or on the way to the birthday, like that gift's going to come, right? No doubt. And so kind of similar in this situation with your man. If you want them to love you, yes, of course. If you want them to give to you, yes, of course. Share that desire with the universe. Express that desire to God, right? But then do what you can do to fill your own well, to love yourself, to nurture yourself, and to give yourself the feelings that you desire. A really good example of this that happened in my own harmonious union with Dylan is there was a time, and I might have shared this before, but there was a time when I really just had this thought of like, because Dylan goes to the gym 3 times a week in the mornings, he's gone for a couple hours, and I had this thought, I was like, oh, it'd be really nice if he would like send me like a sweet text message, like while he was at the gym, just like saying he loved me or whatever, because we don't text very often because we live together, we're together all the time. So I just had this thought. And I didn't say anything to Dylan, I didn't do anything about it, I just had the thought, let it go, went about my life, doing my inner work, loving myself, living my purpose, feeling good, right? And what do you know, it was like a week later, I get this text, and it's like, I love you, baby, like you're the best, like a really sweet message from Dylan. And so that's how you get your man to love you. You don't have to ask for, in the twin flame situation, obviously if you're watching this, you're in the twin flame situation. You don't have to necessarily ask for, hey, I want you to text me this way. I want you to do things this way. I want you to love me in this way, right? Like your twin flame intuitively knows how to love you, okay? And the way that you, I don't want to say get them because this isn't a control thing, right? So I'm just going to assume you know that. The way that you get them to reflect that love that you desire back to you is by giving it to yourself, okay? And so I know I've said this before, but like repetition is so good for learning, and sometimes you can hear something in one way and it finally clicks for you. And so that's a huge, huge thing. Another part of this loving yourself and feeling your feelings piece is you don't want to be projecting onto your twin flame, which leads me to my next point that I'll get into, which these kind of cross over, which is don't take things personally. Do not take your man's feelings personally. Do not take what he's doing personally. Do not take anything personally. It is not personal. It's actually all loving. Every single thing that he does to trigger you, to upset you, to act, maybe seem like he's not necessarily loving you the way you want to be loved, that is for your benefit, okay? That is because he's supporting you in mastering this first step that I shared of loving yourself. Okay, so you don't want to take things personally. And when you are triggered by him, when you are triggered by your twin flame, by your man, you want to go within and heal that for yourself before you bring to the table any of the concerns that you're having in your relationship, okay? This takes some time. This takes some mastery, right? We were not taught this. We're taught to point the finger. We're taught to blame. We're taught to say, you made me feel this way. You need to fix it, right? But that's not what you do with your twin flame. With your twin flame, you go in and you love yourself, you mirror it, you heal it, you come into peace with it. And then if you're still called to like discuss it, right, and say, hey, like, this thing kind of triggered me. Like I moved through it and I feel a lot better about it now, but maybe moving forward, like XYZ, right? Because I'm not saying there's no communication in a twin flame union or with your man and like you just kind of, never communicate or tell them what you want or need. Like there's an ebb and a flow with this, right? And I hope you're picking up on that nuance, right? It's not like 100% this way, 100% this way. You're going to find your own flow with your own union. But this is really important because what's going to happen, what's different than maybe a soulmate relationship, is in a soulmate relationship, you might bring an upset to your to a partner, and you say, hey, when you do this, it makes me feel this way, right? And they're going to be like, oh, okay, well, I can maybe try something different here, right? But with your twin flame, like, their job is to not change until you change, because remember, you're a mirror. You're a reflection of each other. You heal and you grow and you change as one. So if you're constantly waiting for your twin flame to change, never going to happen. You have to change within yourself first. You have to come to peace with what you're moving through first, and then you're going to see it reflected back in your union. So what I mean by don't take things personally is, and I had to learn this one, like at the beginning of our union when we first came together, I was someone who wanted to talk about everything. I wanted to talk about our upsets. I wanted to work through it together. I wanted to get it all out on the table, right? Dylan isn't necessarily designed that way, right? He was more he liked to process things first by himself, right? Within himself. And then once he felt peaceful, he wanted to talk about it. So he was teaching me actually what I'm teaching you guys right now, to go within, feel your feelings, move through it, then go forward with discussing it with your partner, your twin flame. But me, I was very uncomfortable with this. I was very uncomfortable that Dylan didn't want to talk about it with me, that he wanted to kind of move through his own thing and then discuss. Like, this made me so uncomfortable. It really triggered, I think it triggered back then like abandonment. It triggered, just a lot of fear within me. So I had to learn, right, that not going straight into the discussion of what's going on and what's happening, why we're upset immediately wasn't necessary for us, right? And actually, Dylan was teaching me I needed to go and feel my own feelings and to heal what was coming up for me before we moved forward and got clear together, right? And so like at that time, I was taking that personally. I was like, oh my God, like he doesn't want to communicate with me. Oh my God, like I was freaking out. Like, what is going on here? Like, why can't we talk about this? Like, blah, blah, blah. And looking back, it was never personal, right? He was really helping me learn how to navigate my own feelings, and he was not going to go into a codependent relationship with me, which is amazing. And so if you're moving through something similar with your twin flame, where, they really trigger you when they're not communicating with you the way that you would like, or maybe they're not communicating with you at all, what they're teaching you right now, it's not that they don't love you. It's not that they don't want to have good communication with you. It's not that they're not able to be intimate with you or go deep with you. It's simply that they're guiding you to do all those things with yourself, to get intimate with yourself, to communicate with yourself, and to whatever the other thing I said was with yourself. So that's really the mirror, right? That's what's happening there. For example, if your twin flame is not communicating with you right now, let's say you're in separation, don't take that personally, right? Don't freak out. Don't stress that, oh my God, we haven't talked in a year. We haven't talked in 2 weeks. We haven't talked in 6 months. Relax. Take this time to be with yourself, to be with God, to really, really, really nurture yourself and get to know yourself, because that's the way that you're going to get to know your twin flame. That's the way the mirror is going to come back to you and all that love is going to return to you. These first 2 ways are really, really important for the next pieces that I want to talk about, because they're kind of like the foundation, right? It's about feeling your feelings and loving yourself first, not taking things personally, right? And that's kind of hand in hand, continuously going back to yourself, back to loving you. And so when you master these things, or when you go deeper with your mastery around these, your man is going to feel so safe to be vulnerable with you, because they know they can trust you to not take things out of them, not take things personally, not lash out. Yeah, like they can trust you to handle your shit, so to speak. They can trust you to handle your own feelings and then show up as the woman, right? The spiritually mature, emotionally mature woman that your man desires, right? Because like the example with the child, the man you want doesn't want to be in a relationship with a little girl. They want to be in a relationship with a woman, with a powerful, strong woman that you are. And that is you. You are that powerful, strong woman. And that doesn't mean you don't get support from your man. That doesn't mean, your man's not there for you. That doesn't mean you're not going to get loved the way you desire, right? All I'm saying is it has to happen within you first, right? The next thing that I want to share with you guys about how to help the masculine feel safe in loving you is that it's really important that you encourage him, right? That you encourage him when he is doing things that feel good to you, right? When, he is loving you in the ways that you desire to be loved. Like, everybody loves encouragement, right? Like, a really good thing that actually I picked up on from this book, and there's an article on it too, the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, it shares, like, when somebody does something that you don't like, this is a really great secret, so like tune in, sit close. When somebody does something that you don't like, actually the way to get them to not doing that, it's not even by saying, hey, I don't like that. It's by completely ignoring the thing and then encouraging them when they do the behavior you do like. Okay, this is like psychology. This is very interesting, and this really, really works well with your man, right? Because nobody wants like a nagging wife, obviously. No one wants that stereotype. Nobody wants to be that. No one wants that type of relationship. And so, like, here's a really good example of this. Like, if your man is, not communicating with you well, it's not that you want to be, hey, I don't like how you're communicating with me here. Hey, I don't like how you're doing that. Hey, I don't like this. Hey, this makes me feel blah, blah, blah. No. You want to heal all that within yourself, okay? And then when he does show up the way you desire, because he will, because he's going to mirror back to you. When he does show up and say, hey, baby, I love you. Hey, I want to, talk about XYZ. Hey, just so you know, like when Dylan sent me that text, I told him, I loved that you did that. I love when you do stuff like that. It makes me feel so loved. I really appreciate it, When you encourage and appreciate the love you're already receiving from your person, from your twin flame, that is going to amplify that. That's going to create a positive feedback loop and continuously grow in all these good things that you like, okay? So it's not about pointing out what you don't like, right? You can point that out on your pad and paper with the mirror exercise and love yourself within. It's about encouraging and supporting the things that you do like and that you do love, right? It's just so important, right? Like, we can go back to like the little kid example. When you encourage a child to continue behaviors that are positive, you can change that child's life, rather than if you're constantly harping on this child that they're not doing what you want them to be doing, right? This is so important for learning. This is so important for teaching, right? And remember, you're your twin flame's greatest teacher and they're yours. And so it's important to be in that position and understand that like you learn best through positive feedback. That is how you change. That is how you grow. You'd really there's so much science behind this. You don't change through getting reprimanded or through getting called out for what you did wrong, right? Like, no one likes that. No one likes to be called out for something they did wrong. No one likes to be criticized. Not saying, positive constructive criticism is like bad, but that's not the best way that you're going to see the best results with your man, right? Because remember, your twin flame is you. So if you're constantly pointing to them and saying the things that they're doing wrong, that you're not liking, just imagine how you're speaking to yourself, okay? And so, for example, if you're not in communication with your twin flame yet, you can still do this by encouraging yourself right now. You can start that inner dialogue with yourself, start catching yourself where you are criticizing yourself, where you are shaming yourself, where you're blaming yourself, where you're saying, oh, why'd you do that? Why'd you do this? Why are you doing it this way? Start catching those places within you where you're speaking to yourself that way and rewiring that dialogue to be encouraging, to be positive, to be supportive for yourself. Because then when you do come into union, it's going to be a lot easier for you to continue that habit and that pattern of thought and communication with your twin flame. And so the next thing that I want to share with you guys that'll help your twin flame feel safe in loving you is to remember, number 4, he is human too, okay? This is so important because I feel like there's this energy that kind of, goes on in the twin flame community and just, humanity in general, where we're not really recognizing people are we put so much pressure on people to do this, to be that, to whatever. Your man's human. Your man's gonna have feelings. Your man's not gonna be perfect 24/7, right? Just like you. You have days where you feel amazing. You have days where you feel down. You have days where you get triggered constantly, right? You have days where, maybe even a week, where you're just stressing to the max. You're anxious. You're whatever's going on, right? So you cannot expect your man to 24/7 be in this state of ascended peace all the time and levitating and floating and there for your every need. And it's just so unreasonable. And I feel like that's where a lot of people get tripped up, is in having these extremely high expectations, because when you talk about twin flames, you're like, and especially harmonious union, you're like, wow, this is like the most transcendental relationship you could possibly have. This is like so good. It's so amazing. It's so divine. So like when you hear that constantly, which is the truth, okay, I'm not like here to pull the rug out from under you. When you hear that constantly, you may have this expectation in your head that it's going to be all rainbows and butterflies, and that, yeah, your twin flame's going to, be your Prince Charming and come in and save you and all these things. And while they are your Prince Charming, right, they're the king to your queen, they're human. Like, they are just as human as you are. They're going to have just as many emotions as you are, and they're going to have just as many feelings and thoughts and patterns to work through as you, okay? And so when you remember this, it leads me to my final piece I want to share with you today, which is the fifth way that you can help your man to love you and feel safe in loving you. Have compassion, right? Compassion is one of the 8 keys to your harmonious union, and it's so essential to having a healthy, harmonious relationship with your twin flame. Compassion is like, it's like the best friend of unconditional love, right? When you are, which, we can say that too, unconditionally love your man. We'll put that in here too. I have unconditional love for your man and have compassion. Okay, you really want to look at your man not from a lens, like we talked about earlier, of critique and of, oh, what are they doing wrong and why are they triggering me, all this, but of, oh my God, like, they're just a child of God too. They're just doing the best they can too. They're doing the best they can to love themselves and to love me. And like, wow, actually, like, they're doing a really great job. Look at all these ways they've showed up for me. Maybe this is in the past. Look at all the ways they showed up for me in the past. And while maybe we're not talking right now, that's okay. Because you know what? Like, I have compassion. Like, imagine how you feel in separation from your twin flame. Like, they feel that too, okay? Like, you can have compassion for that. You can have compassion and say, wow, how hard must it be to, not be with your ultimate lover, right? You know how that feels. So can you see how hard that must be for them too? And if you're watching this video, you have the work, you have the mirror exercise, you have the tools to feel good with your life. They may not have that yet, right? They just be trying to figure things out. Like, just imagine how you were trying to figure things out before you found this work. Like, dang, that is tough, okay? That's tough. So have so much compassion for your man, like, have so much unconditional love for them. They are doing the best they can, just like you, okay? Yeah, like, it's really safe to just, like, let them off the hook, like, let them off the hook. That's it. Like, step into your power, right? They're not coming to bring you all the good feelings. They're not coming to bring you the safety. They're not coming to bring you any of that, right? You're bringing that to you. You're becoming the woman that God created you to be. You already are, right? That is who you are. That is your essence. That is your being, right? You're created specifically for your man. Own that. Own that. Hold space for them. Hold space for them as they awaken. Hold space for them as they learn to feel their feelings, as they move through their upsets, as they awaken spiritually, right? You're not farther ahead. Don't get me twisted. Don't get it wrong. You're not farther ahead than them. You're on the same page. But you might be holding space for them right now in the spiritual aspect and the healing aspect, and that's okay. You can own that. And like Jeff and Shalay say, they're like, oftentimes one twin flame's holding the towel while the other one's diving in. So that when maybe you're holding the towel right now. So when your twin flame gets out of the pool of, separation or whatever they're in, the upset, you're there holding the towel, drying them off. Hey babe, I got you. Welcome home, right? And so I hope that this energy that I'm sharing with you is getting across, really, because that's what it is. It's like this, it's this peaceful energy. It's this loving energy. It's this supportive energy. It's like a mothering energy. It's this energy of, hey, like, just come home. Like, I got you. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna point the finger at you. I'm not gonna constantly blame you. I'm not gonna put all this pressure on you, right? Because that's really the thing that the masculine, that men have been moving through, is just this constant pressure of, first it was, go to war, take care of the family, work, do all the things. And then it was kind of like, oh, men are bad and we need to push men down and women bring women up and like, no, like, let's just let men be. Let them be themselves. Let them open their hearts in a way that feels good for them. And like, you can be there to love them when they are ready for that, right? And a really good way to do that and to keep in mind is listen. really listen to your man, right? Like, be present with them, be present, be willing to sit with them through those feelings that don't feel good without having to, just like we say with men, without having to women-splain, right? Without having to, like put in your 2 cents all the time, right? Like sometimes men just want to talk to you. Men are just like us, right? They're just like us. They're just like us women, doing the best they can in the world, learning how to live life, learning how to love God, learning how to go deeper into their joy and their peace. They want what you want, right? They want harmonious union just as much as you do, okay? And while your desire may be more first and foremost in your mind, or may seem that way, it's really not the case. They want you, they love you, they adore you. They really do want to be with you just as much as you want to be with them. And and for a man to really get to that place where they feel safe in loving you and giving to you, they just need to feel safe, right? They need to feel safe that you're going to be there, that you're going to be able to hold space for them, that you can, support them the way that you desire to be supported by them. And that's when you're going to experience the beautiful giving and receiving flow of the masculine and the feminine. And that's where it gets so freaking juicy and so good. And I'm not yet completely mastered in this, guys. I'm still learning and deepening in my own union, our harmonious union. Every single day we're learning more about this. We're going deeper into our intimacy, our union, our communication. But it's such a joy and it's so much fun. And like when you kind of embrace that, like, this is for your benefit, it's for your joy, it's for your fun, it's for your learning. Like, Earth is a school. You are here to learn and you're here to grow. It can get so much easier. And just know that your harmonious union is imminent, right? Your harmonious union, it's inevitable. And that as you feel safe in feeling your feelings, as you feel safe in loving yourself, holding yourself through those big emotions, your twin flame is going to feel safe in being with you in those spaces, in those intimate places, and then giving to you the way that you desire, right? And so I hope that you guys got a lot out of this video and that you enjoyed it. I feel like a lot came through. If you would like support with learning to feel safe in feeling your feelings and cultivating this place of peace within yourself so that you can attract your twin flame and your harmonious twin flame union, feel free to reach out to us. We have a link down below where you can book a clarity call. We offer one-on-one and group coaching to support you. And I'd be honored to be a part of your journey home to your twin flame. Feel free to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel for more twin flame spiritual awakening and healing content. And I will see you in the next video. Namaste.